Hello. In this clip from our Justia Webinar, SEO for Lawyers 2023 Highlights and 2024 Forecasts, members of our Justia SEO team will introduce the changes Google made to its algorithm during 2023, as well as talking briefly about the rise of AI during this year. Remember, if you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Thank you very much, Nina and Marina, for the introductions. I'm happy to be here with Tim and Anna to discuss some of the highlights of the changes around search engine optimization that happened this year. We'll talk about information that again, changes that happened and things that we feel are relevant for the upcoming year. So we're gonna keep it simple. So we have 4 parts. First, we get through the overview. Exactly what I'm doing right now. I'll go through some information there. And after that, we'll get to talk about the changes in Google's algorithm, among some other things that changed that are relevant to discuss. After that, we'll get to talk about Gen AI solutions that are out in the wild and everyone is talking about. Think ChatGPT. So we'll go through some of that information. And at the end, as Nina said, we'll just open it up for some questions. All right, let's get to it. All right, so as I mentioned, initially, we're going to be talking about changes in Google's algorithm. So why Google? Well, we all know, right? Google is really the main and the major search engine that everyone is using. It really captures the bulk of the volume of searches on the internet. And not to say that Bing is not important, but in reality, we should focus on Google. It is really what makes a difference on the search marketing. And as we all know, Google made changes to their algorithm all the time, right? So they actually have this particular page where they list the different changes, the official or confirmed changes they've done to the search engine during the year. So we'll go through some of that the information on some of these updates. Not every update is like relevant for law firms. So we'll give you some of those details too. And beyond changes to the algorithm, again, we'll mention a few things that changed and that happened this year. So after that, so once we're done with that part, we'll actually start talking about the Gen AI services. As I said, I referenced ChatGPT, which is the one that grabbed headlines. Everyone talked about it. And that's based on OpenAI GPT language model. And GPT 3.5 was actually released at the end of last year, but in reality, it was this year when everyone started talking about it. And I'm sure most of you have used ChatGPT for a number of applications. So that was a really interesting solutions and use cases. What happened then was it got released. Microsoft partnered with it. So it just injected some money. And what that helped Microsoft is they incorporated ChatGPT or that particular technology into their search engine, into Bing, right? So they enabled this feature where you can get to talk to Bing in this sort of chat conversation. And you get to ask questions and you get some interesting information back, similar to ChatGPT. Now, I guess we thought Bing was sort of taking the market, but it didn't happen quite like that. So we'll get into the details on that. But that what it did, it forced Google to respond to it, right? So Google had to make to release something to compete with that. And they came up with something they call Search Generative Experience. And basically that is sort of their version to what Bing did in incorporating this AI solution. And this is how it looks on the search engine. So it sits at the very top of the search results. It looks similar to a rich snippet. And even in this screen, you can see we have the AI feature at the top, and it's sitting right on top of a rich snippet that Google is already showing for the search. So it's worth noting that it's not coming up for every search, but we'll get into some of those details later in the webinar. Right. Another development around Gen AI on Google side is they just announced the release of Gemini. This happened like a couple of weeks ago, and that's their next generation Gen AI model, right? So this is sort of the next version of it. They claim this is going to be a much better and powerful. And they are starting to incorporate this into some of their services. They said it is already being used, or a version of it is being used in Bard. For those of you who have not heard of Bard before, that's sort of Google's response to ChatGPT. So that is being used there already, and they are now experimenting using Gemini on the search engine. So we should expect changes in the next year. All right. So that's the information. Again, we'll talk about changes in Google. Then we'll get to these AI feature services. And as you know, Justia, we do a lot of things around search engine optimization. We have a number of webinars. This in your screen, this is the webinar. This is what's happening right now. But we have some others that we already recorded with really great information. You can actually access them through the Webinar Center. And there are a few that we wanted to highlight that we believe are providing great information. So these 4 webinars. The first one is on content for law firm websites. And here we actually get into, we explain what matters to Google when it comes to content on websites. We have some tips, something you should consider and keep in mind when developing your own website. The next one in the list is fundamentals on link building and citations. And this is like sort of basic information around link building. We explain what's a link, how to define the different type of links, how to do cross links. We talk about cross linking among pages within your own website. And again, this is sort of a basic level. The third one in the list is sort of the next part to that. So it's the advanced citation and link building. And here we really get more into providing you some resources that you can explore to get links to your website. And we also get into how you could analyze your competitors' websites to see what they are doing in terms of links, and get some ideas on things that could be applicable to your website as well. The last one in the list is technical SEO, right? So this is a much more technical webinar. This is really more for your web developers. So if you have a web developer helping you with your website, this good information for them. There is one more to highlight that we wanted to mention. It's not SEO focused, but it's a really great resource. It's using ChatGPT to create content for your law firm website. So all of these webinars are actually available to you through the Webinar Center. And if you haven't done so, feel free to go and watch them. Finally, we have a YouTube channel. There's an official Justia YouTube channel where we actually have all of these SEO-related webinars, and there's different clips from those in our channel. So if you have any issues accessing the information through the Webinar Center, feel free to go to the YouTube channel and just see the information there. There's a lot more clips beyond SEO that you would find very interesting. So if you like what you see there, feel free to subscribe so you can notify every time we get a new website into our channel. And that is it for the overview. So I think we're ready to dive into the different details, in this case on changes to the Google's algorithm. And for that, I will hand this over to my colleague, Anna.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on law practice and legal marketing. See you in our next clip.